are live.
Hello, I am Otto Dassing. You are listening to the Punk Rock Libertarians podcast, episode 331, our holiday extravaganza. Tonight, I'm joined with the Hanukkah Grinch himself, and special guest. This is weekend, Jared. Jared Schneiderman.
You got a special, Jared.
Also joined by Alex Schneiderman.
Alex Schneiderman.
And I'm the sober one.
I've adopted Alex as my son.
Hey, everybody. It's Alex Schneiderman, everybody. Oh, boy. And also here is James Babb.
Hello. Let the mayhem begin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, this is a special night, special occasion, last night of Hanukkah for Jared.
Yep.
The Grinch.
Hanukkah Grinch.
That's why his background is blue. Celebrate
from my cave on Masada.
Is this when we celebrate when they killed Jesus? Is that or no? Wait a minute. No, this is baby Jesus time. I
on the 8th day. On the 8th day is when they crucified Jesus.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Like frankincense and myrrh and stuff. Yeah.
The three kings, and then they crucified Jesus. Yeah.
It's hard to keep up.
Oh man.
And a happy belated Krampusnacht.
All right, yeah. Fuck, I forgot about that too. Kwanzaa's coming up next, though, so we got to celebrate Kwanzaa.
No, we don't do that around here.
Apparently, though, I was hearing though that the founder of Kwanzaa was probably an FBI informant or agent.
Same with Christmas.
Like that.
Same with Christmas. It was actually a Roman plot. It was a Roman.
Well, no, wasn't
subvert the Jews.
I thought Kwanzaa was founded by some very like one of those like black Israelite groups.
It was a guy, and apparently he's in jail for murder or rape or something.
Yeah, that's what.
Somebody once told me they're like, Kwanzaa, that holiday's made up. I'm like, yeah, all holidays are made up, dumbass. I mean, everybody made up a holiday. So what?
Right.
So what do we got going on? What do you guys? Why don't we do it for Bergman's sake? I want everyone to. What are you guys drinking?
Oh, that's
nice.
Oh, that is so Bergman. That is so. Oh God, that's terrible. Let's start with whoever has the lowest ABV beverage.
Probably Jared.
It's not. No. I've got a new one.
Oh, it's me.
Mine's 9% right now.
Oh, mine is water because I did enough. I did enough drinking on Tuesday. We were recording Late to Liberty. I had to end the podcast a little early to go throw up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I had pummeled. I was at the bar because it was supposed to be the last night. Anne Arundel County was allowing indoor dining until like next year. And so I went there with my buddy and we like pounded beers for like an hour. And we went to the place, the German restaurant, and we got like this something called the Optimator. It's like 9%. It's like this German ale, and we were just pounding that. And I came back and cracked open a few like seltzers that I had in the fridge. And by I'd say I got 2/3, or maybe I don't know. I don't even remember how long it went after I left.
2/3, 3/4.
Yeah,
Ish. I don't know.
Wait, is this the one that we already posted, or is this coming up?
Oh, this one's coming up.
Oh, I can't wait.
Coming up, yeah.
And then it definitely came up that night. I was, but I puked and rallied. I had to puke and I puked and I was like, all right, I'm good to go. Let's do this again.
It's amazing how you can feel like so much better after puking.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
God, it was brutal. But I can count on one hand how many times I've thrown up from alcohol as an adult. So that was
actually
adult. Adult.
Adult. Yeah. I mean, do you count adult as like after college age? Because
I'd say after 18. I don't know. Like I was. I threw up once when I was 16, and then I didn't drink for like 7 years, and then now after that I've managed to throw up 5 times.
I mean,
I'm not sure adult status is yet to like find you here. I think
point well taken.
Yeah. You got to really learn how to
actually
drink.
I had that happen the first time in a while, like a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just like I came home and I didn't feel, I wasn't like hammered, but like my stomach. I just hadn't like eaten really that much or drank any water all
that'll get
day.
you.
And I just like, and I was like smoking cigars and shit. And I got home and I was like, I don't feel that great. And I just,
Ooh, cigars will do it.
oh yeah.
Cigars, yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
if I smoke anything and I'm like just hammered. Well, I wasn't even hammered though. I don't know. It was weird, but
I think it
anyway,
was the wrong combination. That's what it was.
yeah, it's a bad combination.
But what are you drinking now? What do you say you got? It's 9%.
So yeah, I'm
What?
drinking this La Fin du Monde, which is a Belgian style triple ale. It's
We don't speak no
9%.
French here.
It's got a picture of Newfoundland on it, which is kind of weird, but
Oh.
I guess it's from Newfoundland. I don't know. Yeah, product of Canada. Same thing.
Oh, there you go.
Newfoundland is the Canada of Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Now,
What are you
Alex, what are you
drinking?
drinking?
Yeah.
I'm drinking some eggnog, some Pennsylvania Dutch eggnog. It's also it's actually elf cum.
Mm,
Wait, what makes it Pennsylvania Dutch?
That's the brand. I just
brand?
saw it I saw it at the liquor store today.
somebody's got to harvest the elves, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dutch.
The Amish are known for like they're
Actually,
known for farming elves for their
Yeah, drink-
beverage, for their nectar. Yeah.
they've
Drink it
got
up.
indentured elf servants.
Yep.
From milking
and-
elves.
And you
I can't
do
take
look
credit for that
particularly
joke. That's an
festive,
old
Alex.
David Tell joke.
Wow.
Alex, you look particularly festive, and for those that are listening on the podcast only, they're really missing out on your seasonal attire there. So
They're
Oh,
missing
yeah.
out on the swag, on the Ron Paul flair on the Santa cap. They're missing out.
nice, yeah, looking good.
What is that?
So
What is
you-
that scene on your shirt from?
Oh, dude, it's I ordered it online like years ago. It came so fucking late. I thought I got ripped off.
Yeah.
But they put like Christmas scenes on sweaters, but it's from Christmas Vacation when his brother-in-law was like, "Sorry, shitter's full." Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like, it's like,
Oh, nice.
yeah. So it's got the- yeah,
It says shitter full on it.
it says shitter full down at the bottom. It's pretty dope.
Oh my god, dude.
That's
They
epic.
don't make movies like they used to.
I know, right?
No.
And
No,
it really
they don't.
makes a festive Christmas shirt.
So I think this
We're gonna have the
episode.
best Christmas special here.
So I think this episode we're just going to talk about how Die Hard's a Christmas movie, right, Phil?
Yeah.
Ugh, the
Dude,
most
well,
happiest
hey,
of all hacks.
Check out this beer that I'm drinking. This is Aslan Brewing and from Virginia. Genius Kitchen Imperial Stout with cocoa nibs, coffee, maple syrup, cinnamon, Nutella, and strawberries. 15% ABV.
Oh, damn, dude.
This is it's like diabetes and alcohol poisoning in one can.
James might be like pulling a Phil midway through this podcast.
Right.
Cocoa. And wow, there's a lot of that. Sounds very festive.
It
Yeah,
is.
What's
It
a
is.
coconut nib? Is that what it is? Coconut
Cocoa
nib?
cocoa nib.
Oh, I thought it was
fuck is
something
that?
racist. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's definitely appropriating somebody's culture. I don't know which one.
Hawaiians, who knows?
Yeah, after kind of chugging that because it tasted really good. I'm trying to sober up to do the show. So
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, Phil, do we want to go on to the first topic here?
Sure. We got Massey and Tulsi, the Tulsi dog. They're teaming up to repeal the Patriot Act. I think you have the docs on that, don't you, Jared?
I had the headline. I don't know if I actually read the story.
That's
we
all
don't need any
for
more
us.
than the headline, do we?
Fuck that. Let's do it. So what do you think?
We could just imagine the rest of the details.
Yeah. I mean,
we just assert and
I
just assume.
think it's cool. I think it's a cool concept. It kind of reminds me of stuff that like Ron Paul and Dennis Kucinich would get together on.
right.
yeah. That's a good kind of analogy.
And they never got any of their shit done. So
Well, it's
good
for
luck.
sure. It's for sure not going to pass. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the deep state will be like, "Oh, my bad. Let me step aside here." Yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess a lot of Libertarian Party people are watching the show, and I guess remember Bob Barr, the Libertarian Party candidate for president, voted for that shit. So
Yeah, he was a great candidate. Him and Bill Weld. They're solid. They were solid libertarians.
Yeah, when a Democratic senator is more libertarian than your nominee, that's not a good sign.
Yeah,
It is kind of funny. Like people like make fun of AOC. Like, oh, AOC, like some people like her. I can't believe it. I'm like, hey, she wants to abolish the Department of Homeland Security. Bob Barr voted to establish it. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
Let's talk about this, you know,
Yeah.
really.
So, all right. So I got the docs here. They are proposing legislation, bipartisan legislation. It's called Protect Our Civil Liberties Act, which would repeal both the Patriot Act and the FISA Amendments Act.
Whoa.
That permitted the government agencies to collect mass telephone and email data. So that's basically what Snowden is, in hiding for right now.
Oh shit! Something in works.
And so Gabbard and Massey argue that the surveillance violates Americans' rights, privacy, and their civil liberties. Yeah, duh. The bill would make sure that Congress reexamines how best to strike this balance of protecting our national security interests while ensuring that the constitutional rights of every single American is preserved. Well, that's a whole bunch of whatever that
warms
is.
my heart to hear them talk about my constitutional rights. Oh my!
All right,
God.
so the bill would also make retaliation against any federal national security whistleblowers, such as Edward Snowden, illegal, and require that the Government Accountability Office regularly monitor domestic surveillance programs. Well, the last part doesn't mean shit, but
I if it protects against creating more Ed Snowden victims, I kind of like that idea, but I'm still skeptical.
Yeah, of course. It would also ban government mandated backdoors built into electronics and software.
Government mandated.
Wait, yeah.
We mandate.
That's odd.
I mean, the idea behind this is great. Whether it's the actualization of it is probably not going to be it's probably not going to happen at all. But
well, here's the problem with that is like maybe somebody can be like, oh, they're going to do it, it's going to work, and we're going to change government, and our privacy will be protected. Yeah. Wrong. Like that is the wrong way to look at it. You want to protect your privacy, you start using encrypted communications like Signal or Telegram or whatever, or Proton Mail. Right. Yeah. Like you control your privacy. If you think anything that the government's going to do to protect your privacy is legit, you're just, I mean, that is adorably naive. Yeah. So, kudos for them to tackling this. And I kind of like the fact that they're going to shine a little light on this stuff. But I mean, everything's already out in the open as far as domestic surveillance, and everything that Snowden said was real, and he warned everybody, and they're like, okay, you caught us, and then the Congress and then the courts are like, yep, that was illegal, shouldn't have done that, but Ed Snowden is still a fugitive, and they're still doing it. So protect yourself.
Yeah, you definitely can't rely on the government especially not for that, let alone anything really.
No.
Speaking of fugitives, there's been murmurs that Trump is now seriously considering pardoning Ross Ulbricht. I guess he's not a fugitive. I guess he's actually in jail, but same sort of.
Yeah. It's what a miracle that would be. But I think it is legit that he's been at least considered. I mean, that's the word that I've heard for multiple times from different places.
There's going to be a lot of these sort of like conservative, like, what's his name? The Turning Point guy. They seem to be
Charlie Clark.
Yeah, like I actually saw. Yeah, I saw he had a tweet that was basically saying like free Ross. I don't know why these guys are. Yeah. I mean,
no way,
dude. I swear. Hold on, I'll find it.
There's been a lot of interesting activity, and miracles do happen. It's of course
Christmas time.
I will actually. I mean, when it happens, I'll go out and buy a MAGA hat and wear it for a day. I swear to God, I will.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of extreme that I'm willing to go to. Like if he actually does this, but in case any of Trump's inner circle is monitoring us on the punk rock libertarians, let me just say like this, like if you want to stick it to Chuck Schumer, the deep state, the media, right, the banking cartel, right, these are the powerful forces that have hate your guts, right? If you want to like stick them in the eye as you leave the White House, pardon Ross Ulbricht and Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and as many of the thousands of others as you can. Like, imagine what a real slap in the face to those deep state bastards.
He was just asked it just earlier this week, I believe. He was asked about Snowden and in a press conference. So, and speaking of listeners in the Trump's inner circle, who was listening on the podcast? Jared, you would know. Phil, who the
Oliver Roger Stone.
Or Roger
Stone.
Yeah,
not
Oliver Stone.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Maybe he
What
could
the
tell
hell's wrong
his
with you
brother
tonight?
Oliver. Yeah.
Dude, I don't understand it. Like, where'd I go? Oh, there I am.
Ask Oliver Stone to get word to Kim Kardashian to tell Trump, like that's how we could make this work.
Yeah.
I can't speak tonight. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me.
Free
I need a drink.
Snowden.
Yeah, I think you're just not drunk, Phil. I think you're in what's called withdrawal.
Maybe. I am shaking a lot. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just need a natty light.
But wouldn't that be a neat legacy for Trump to sort of turn the tables?
That's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
to have this legacy of like
imagine the last thing
he could be like, he could be the guy that said, yeah, that was the president that presided over the end of the drug war, kind of like the end of chattel slavery. Abraham Lincoln gets credit for.
right.
Like he could be. He
doesn't
could
matter
be
what other horrible shit Abe Lincoln did. It's like
exactly
okay, he freed the slaves. That's
right.
his
He
legacy.
could get this like he freed the hundreds of thousands of people that were wrongly imprisoned for victimless crimes, and it's possible. The dude could just say like, do it. That's all he has to do. So all you like Trumpkins, like go tweet that shit.
Yeah.
I just doubt anything's going to happen at all. I'm so cynical when it comes to this. He's had all the opportunity to do this for the past several years, and he hasn't done anything, whether he's not allowed to or whether he just doesn't care enough to do it or whether it's just all talk. I don't know. Like, but
he has done as far as like pardoning people, he has done, and I'm not talking about Michael Flynn, like fuck that guy, but I'm talking about like early on, he, when Kim Kardashian or whatever was in his ear, he did free.
I think if
the
she
deep
like,
state
I think
people or something.
I think
like
she
that, right?
shakes her booty, and he's like, "Yes, I'll do it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But yeah, well, the deep state,
keep shaking it.
the deep state is not telling him, no, you can't pardon that person. Some random person that's in jail.
Well, yeah, they're not saying, well, we're going to make all. Yeah, they're not saying, well, we're going to make your whole gold palace disappear if you do this.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if that, assuming that's going on, which it probably is. I mean, he's not courageous enough to.
Right, exactly. There's he's all about the deal. All they'd have to do is be like when they got wind he was going to do it, they'd be like, hey, we'll give you $500 million, and be like, all right.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't have to be that awkward because he's art of the deal. He's already made so many deals with them,
Right.
But you know what?
never know.
Miracles happen, strange things happen. I don't pretend to know like whatever goes on in his head. And if he's not going to do it for justice and for righteousness, do it for spite. I know he does stuff for spite.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. That would be really cool. But I just don't see anything like that happening. Apparently, now just news today. He's ended the transition for the Biden administration. Like he got them all off the hormone blockers, and the transition has stopped. From what I've heard. So I don't know. I guess he's like, so what does it even mean?
Transitioning anymore?
Yeah, they're not transitioning. The DOD.
They're not transitioning,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That just posted, so it was an article that Acting Defense Secretary Chris Miller ordered a Pentagon-wide halt to operation within the transition of President-elect Biden, shocking officials across the Department of Defense. So basically,
Fight.
yeah.
Fight.
So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I got an article sent to me by a friend from one of their Q friends or Trump conspiracy.
Oh, well,
And
anything legitimate to back it up?
Infowars.com.
Well, that's the thing.
Sorry, it's banned.video now.
That this just coincided. That just I guess this article was from yesterday or 2 days ago, that they blocked the Trump's transition team, or the Pentagon basically halt the transition team's briefings. So I don't know. I find it kind of ironic that I received this article 2 days prior, and it's basically about a cyber warfare program within the Department of Defense called the Kraken. And basically what it does.
No, the Kraken was the CIA. That was in the 80s.
Right. So this is basically, I don't know. So who the fuck knows? Because this article seems fake as fuck. But the fact that
he's like reading, he's like, wait a second.
You know what?
There's stuff about like lizard people and all kinds of stuff.
Somebody go tell the other guys that it's happening. Like it's happening.
I don't want to go on record on Punk Rock Libertarians. We have journalistic integrity on this program.
As a we have as much journalistic integrity as any comedy show out there.
Yeah, we actually use Facebook's fact checking services.
Yeah, we just say shit. We just say shit, and I assume that the gods of Facebook will put a disclaimer on anything we say that's bullshit.
Yeah, we trust them.
But I mean, it's just kind of ironic. All these things are kind of coming together.
Could this have anything to do with the solar winds hack? I'm just like trying to wrap my head around right now. And have you guys followed this hack through this software that government agencies are using, and including like the Bureau of Atomic Energy or whatever? I forget the name of the agency. Solar winds hack.
No.
Oh yeah, this looks pretty serious. There's a serious hack out there, and they're already blaming the Russians and stuff. Like, I can't tell where it's going, but that supposedly a lot of federal agencies were compromised. I'm assuming the software that was used to hack them was probably released by the federal government, the way they've released all that other hacking software accidentally.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I was hoping you guys had maybe heard something about that, but
I heard something about a hack, but yeah, I didn't dig in.
I mean, there's so many different ways to think about it. Like, okay, first of all, could it just be like some kids that are like, hey, let's fuck with the government, right? Like, I'm down with that strategy. Like, that could be it. Or it could be like, let's make up the whole thing so we can go to war with Russia. Totally legit, right? The whole thing could be made up. Or maybe some software that the government like had developed and was using for their own illicit purposes, got released into the wild, like has happened many times before, and maybe that was used against these government agencies. Maybe it's an inside job. Maybe it's part of a coup. What the hell? Who knows? Anyway,
let me stew on that for a minute.
Yeah, but you know what? The fact that they, in the first story I read about it, said it has the footprint of Russians, and like, okay, like, I see. I see where this,
dealing with the
see where this
CIA
might have
operative
originated.
right
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, all I know is whatever they're saying at this point is completely wrong. But like, who knows where it's going to go?
Nowhere. God, man, I'm already sitting here thinking about like all the other bullshit, like non-COVID related, that it's gonna happen in this next administration of these fucking war hawks. But you know what? It'll be the most diverse war crimes ever.
What sort of gun regulation do you think they're gonna actually be able to implement?
Probably nothing. If they don't get the Senate, they're not gonna do shit. But if they do,
they'll use the ATF. They'll use the ATF.
Will these new regulations affect my ghost gunner machine?
Probably.
Who's going to tell my ghost gunner machine about them?
No, there was some ghost gun manufacturer.
Yeah, Polymer 80 was just raided by the ATF.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Trump, Mr. Second Amendment. Oh, it's a good thing the Democrats aren't in there, because then we'd have gun control.
Right.
Can you believe that? Yeah, add that on to the, like, that's going to be part of his legacy now. The more of a gun control president.
Yeah, so this has happened.
And Obama.
This was in Dayton, Nevada, where Polymer 80 is, where their manufacturing plant is. Federal agents raided one of the country's largest ghost gun part manufacturers on Thursday in a show of force against kits that allow people to make weapons at home. This was last Thursday.
It was, I believe it's an 80% lower and parts.
Yeah. Phil, we may or may not know of someone that may or may not have purchased from said company. And at our recent event, and he was telling me about, it's pretty fucking legit. But basically, they're the fixtures for the lowers on Glocks and ARs. But it's like all like polymer plastic. But they just basically give you the fixture to drill. It's 80%. It comes 80% complete. The fixture's all ready to go.
Which for those that aren't aware, that's technically not a gun. At 80%, it's just it's not yet, doesn't require a serial number from the feds. That's my understanding. So this is a new level of like going beyond any previous gun regulation to say now suddenly whatever we say could be a gun later is now subject to seizure. Is that right?
So they send you everything. They send you the fixture to put over the lower.
But
whatever you purchase, it sends you the end mill, the drill bits. They send you everything.
This is the free market at work. I just wondering why are they saying they can do this? What is their justification? Do you know?
Let's see.
Yeah, what are they like? Because you already said they don't have to have serial numbers on the lowers, right?
That's my understanding.
So then what is?
So the ATF is constantly considering what is and what isn't a classification of said firearm. So
and they always expand
the goalposts.
They always expand.
They're like, well, this is
like, where do we expand next?
This is an 80. This is an 81% lower. You got a little extra plastic on this one, so that's 1% more than we allow.
All they have to do is say something. Well, this is an 80% lower, but we consider it to be still illegal. Screw you.
So this could be on this. This is on the Second Amendment Daily News, but something like maybe this raid is something that you have these bureaucrats that just are, this could be something that they're grandstanding for Biden and for this next administration. So they're basically a shot across the bow.
Ghost gun was like the scary buzzword before COVID,
Yeah.
Like that was kind of rising up in like the trends of like scary buzzwords that we all had to be afraid of. Were like the ghost guns.
Yeah, let's get scared of ghost guns again. I'm so tired of the COVID fear thing. Could we get scared of something new, please?
We just move on with what the government needs to scare us with.
Please don't do season 2. Jesus.
For the love of
I'm so
God.
sick.
Yeah,
I'm already sick of COVID. All right, I'm checked out after.
I mean, look, you gave like terrorists a good run. We were good. We were scared of terrorists there. You went for then it was be scared of Mexican tomato pickers like coming across the desert. That worked for a while. Then we were scared of like low cost products coming from China. That got people really scared.
What's next?
Something fresh, please.
Switch it up.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. They're not. There's always gonna be a boogeyman, but now it's like COVID presents like the everlasting, scare. Like they get everyone to comply with and run around and be scared of. Oh, they love it. It works so well for them.
Everybody seems to really be enjoying this new level of servitude.
The new normal.
It's shocking how people have really embraced it. I'm surprised.
Are you?
Even and I have just a dismal hope for humanity.
Yeah.
I can't even believe really how people have cheered for their own destruction and the closure of their own industries and the enslavement of their own people.
But I'm getting a little bit of hope here.
Let me dash your hopes here. Though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
So, we talk about Lockdown Larry quite a bit on this show just because we're all from Maryland mostly.
And so who is Larry is the governor of Maryland?
So he is the governor of Maryland.
Not our governor.
Not our governor, but the governor.
Are
The
you
governor.
governed by him right now?
I mean, he is presiding over this patch of land.
Is he governing
via force? Does he govern me?
Is he governing you right now? As we speak?
Right now, I'm no. I mean, I'm just kind of chilling.
I call him the double chin dictator. That's all.
So he's issued an emergency order today, or no, this was Thursday, requiring anyone who travels outside the state to get a negative test for the coronavirus or to self-quarantine for 10 days when they return.
Aren't there a bunch of exceptions, though?
Well, later on, he says, hold on a second. Fuck. Well, basically, he says, I'm trying to find it in the article, but he says, we're not going to enforce this, but we're going to rely on the goodwill of the people to just oblige, basically. Oh, yeah, here it is. Hogan said there will be no police enforcement or fines, but instead, quote, we're just going to rely on the good faith of people listening to these orders. End quote.
Yeah.
Is this like the next level of statism where they'd be like, look, we're not necessarily saying we're going to shoot you dead for disobedience, but we're hoping you just obey anyway.
All right. We want you to want this.
We want you to be your own state.
Yeah. We feel that you are so domesticated at this point that we don't even have to hit you with the whip. You're still going to obey our commands.
It's Pavlov's bell, right? I mean, you just ring the bell and
you
don't have to hit the dog.
So he said Delaware, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. are exempt from the order. Okay, so
those are all the surrounding.
They're going to let people from D.C. in? That's disgusting.
Oh, yeah, that's disgusting.
All of those states border Maryland. There's one state he left out. He basically was like, fuck West Virginia.
Oh, those bastards. Right, they probably have like the lowest incidents.
Going to West Virginia. If I have
I'm basically going to West Virginia this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to Deep Creek. I mean, that's basically West Virginia.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, Maryland should just break up. Just break up. The party's over.
Pennsylvania banned all indoor dining.
Wow.
Screw it. And there's quite a few breweries and restaurants said no, not this time. And they're open. A lot of people are still open.
Wow.
In the Philadelphia area, Jim, or throughout the state?
Well, there's a local bar that I've been to, like a local shitty bar. And then there's a kick-ass brewery up in Bethlehem, which is like an hour away from me. So I'm not really privy to every place, though. It's like these are just the ones I kind of catch wind of.
Nice.
So,
that's good to hear, though, that some people are pushing back.
Yeah. Pizza Boy Brewing out near Harrisburg initially said they were going to defy the order. And then I guess they got a lot of pressure, and then they said, okay, we'll comply. So I'm all for supporting the businesses that are ready to stand firm and just, I mean, the community, there seems to be tons of community support for those willing to do it. Seven Sirens Brewing in Bethlehem has had humongous crowds. The beer is high quality. So
there's we'll send out a bill to all these. We don't just plug anybody, okay? So we'll keep a lookout for the mail. It's a bill from PRL, for plugging on the podcast.
They'll hook us up. With our,
these fine establishments.
Now the problem is these guys. You go to their Instagram, and it used to be full of back the blue bullshit.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm hoping these guys are in sort of a transition phase from backing the blue to fuck the police.
They're taking those blue hormone blockers and they're
right.
I'm cutting them some slack because in the moment these guys are being as anarchist as any of my friends, and they're really putting themselves on the line and their business, and they're taking risks in the cause of freedom. So I'm gonna just judge them for that, and kudos.
That's fair.
Well, I know when I was out at drinking the other night, the reason why we were there because on Wednesday they were canceling all indoor dining in Anne Arundel County, and I wanted to get there one last time. But come Wednesday morning, I think they blocked it. They a judge stepped in and ruled that they can't shut down indoor dining in restaurants.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, and they completely blocked it.
There was a couple. There was a lawsuit. There was a lawsuit, and there was a couple.
Well, there's a lawsuit now. Yeah, the Restaurants Association of Maryland is suing. Sorry, so they're suing the state.
Good.
Or so which is good.
So
and they had a press conference today.
It's so depressing. I went out last night just to I was like, fuck, I got to do some last minute Christmas shopping. So, and I want to try to support local businesses. I don't want to go to fucking box stores that have basically skirted all this bullshit. Meanwhile, these small places are dealing with all the burdens are on the smaller companies. So, but I went up to and Jared and Otto, you know where it is, up on 36th Street, Hamden neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, fucking dead. Now this, for those not aware of Baltimore, it's like a street. It's just all little mom and pop small businesses. Dude, it's sad. So many businesses are shuttered.
Breaks my heart. And this is I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of times over. Businesses destroyed by these tyrannical mandates.
Right.
And sadly, though, at a certain point, I have to say, you know what? You obeyed.
And exactly. And you know what, Jim? That's a very good point, because here's the thing. At what point do you make that decision? And I think in Pennsylvania and in Maryland and all these states where they're just coming down with the hammer even harder, people are just all right, fuckers. We've played, we're not going to sacrifice our own existence over this bullshit.
Do not.
Because you
don't
said,
do it.
The one shop up on the street that closed, I remember a couple months ago, so this probably was around June, I was petitioning for the LP, and there's a lot of foot traffic up there on that street because there's a lot of little bars, restaurants, little independent owned shops, boutiques, vintage store. It's like hipster paradise. But but there's some good restaurants up there too. But I digress. But that business that was shuttered basically was enforcing only 10 people in the store at a time. There was a lineup of people. Well, okay. A lot of these, I wouldn't say a lot, but some of these businesses went fucking COVID over the top to their own detriment. And then when it's oh, well, we're going to reduce your capacity to this or that. And guess what? Now you can't fucking survive because you didn't push back when you had the chance. And I think now with the second go around, there's a lot of businesses that'll be you know what? No, fuck you, state. We're done with this shit. It's done
good.
Playing,
and
you know it's good to see.
Well, I think a lot of people also, instead of fighting against the lockdowns and the shutdowns of their businesses, switched into demanding more welfare payments and as compensation for shutting down.
Yep.
And they thought that was the way that, and they're go ahead and shut me down, but pay me.
Yep.
Right.
I'm oh, how did that deal work out?
Because they're
really
broke.
You're an idiot for making that deal.
How would this make it if they're reducing your capacity to 50%, 25%, they're still taxing you at 100%. Where the fuck do you think this money's coming from?
Right.
Santa Claus? What you got? No. And I look at it and it's sad. I don't think Baltimore's going to survive. There's going to be neighborhoods. It's going to be because it was sad, dude. Because normally that neighborhood's bustling, and I'm there was only one shop that was open. Now others they looked to be open, but they were closed. But I'm why the fuck are you closing at 7:30 on a Thursday night, a week and a half before Christmas? Don't you think you'd be open? But it could be they're either restricted or because all the bars and restaurants in Baltimore City are forced to close. Everything's carry out only. So if there's no foot traffic, and there's nobody out and about, why would you, if you're a business owner and you are losing money, why would you want to be extended your hours, keeping the power, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So then I went down to Fells Point, which is another pretty vibrant neighborhood of Baltimore on the water, a lot of bars. You can get
what's that look like right now?
What's that? Oh, dude, Jared, it is fucking dead, dude. It was
really?
Normally every bar, there's music, live music coming out of every bar in normal times.
Yeah.
There's a type of bar for anybody that wants to get into anything.
Except for you,
Good
you can't get into,
restaurant.
you can't get into McGurk's anymore, can you?
No, I can't even go to McGurk's, dude.
No, but
Oh.
didn't you get banned from there?
2 weeks ago. I did go there against when they played the Browns. That game was so shitty.
Oh, they let you back in?
Yeah, well, dude, they don't care. They're like, anybody, come on.
Well, yeah,
in.
now it's like, whatever, dude. Whoever wants to give
They
us
don't
money.
give a shit.
Don't care.
Yeah,
Oh.
but no, Fells Point, dude, it was depressing, man. Like there was no stores open, no bars. The one pizza joint was open, but it was just so like, it's just really, and it's like, how are they going to recover from this? Like how, and the thing is, Baltimore just elected a new mayor. This Democrat, he's young and up and coming, and Brandon.
He's got an afro,
and he's like, yeah, and he's like,
does.
oh yeah, I usually go to the barber shop, but I don't now. Like he's such a dude. He basically within a week of being inaugurated, he basically shut Baltimore City down completely to strictly bars.
So brave.
Bars and restaurants are carry out only, and I'm like,
so
dude,
brave.
Yeah, right. Like what a bitch. And I'm like, dude, this city was fucked before COVID. How the fuck do you think it's going to be? It's not going to go well for you, bro. Like I'm telling, like this guy, like it's not going to come back, and not to the extent and you see it, and it's the fucking Great Reset right before your fucking eyes. All these small businesses.
Absolutely.
All these.
But you know what? Well, we need to reach out to these small businesses and let them know there's another way. And to me, that way is like, first of all, they've been threatening you with your food licenses and your restaurant licenses and your liquor licenses. Tell them to go shove those up their ass. Okay.
Yeah, have some balls.
You opened yourself up to vulnerability as soon as you consented to this regulatory cartel structure. Okay. It's completely illegitimate. It'd be a great time to just completely disregard it and to let them know that this is, you know what, screw that. Second, cryptocurrency, except cryptocurrency. Great Reset. They're working so hard on making sure that every transaction is tracked, recorded, monitored, blockable, censorable, traceable, that there's going to be an alternative culture. There's going to be everybody that's in their system 100% monitored, tracked, etc. And then there's going to be the rest of us out here, and we've got cryptocurrency and encryption, and we're going to be out here doing our own thing. So like, be out here with us. Like it's coming, right? So
hang with the cool guys from PRL.
Keep your business open. Tell them to go to hell, and let us know, and we'll be at your business. I will be there. Like if I hear about a business in my area, I will be there. So, and I know there's a lot of people, feel that way.
How about that gym? That gym in New Jersey.
Yep.
They're facing they've accumulated over $1.5 million in fines from the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, it's easy. Right. It's easy for me to say be brave, but look at this. That's the reality. That is crushing. I mean, so when these guys are standing up, understand that it is at great risk.
But they're in South Jersey, Attila's Gym in Belmar, New Jersey. They refused to shut down the entire fucking time. And the governor of New Jersey, Governor Murphy, and it's a beautiful gym.
Wait, is that Belmar? B-E-L?
Belmar, yeah. Yep, Belmar. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's where my family's from. So yeah.
Okay.
I go up there frequently.
That's
this
where
gym
Phil
is
works
silly.
out.
They're packed, and they don't. There's no mask mandate. They never pushed the mask mandate.
Are they accepting new members?
I believe so. They're packed. They don't give a fuck, and they actually boarded up. It was a couple of weeks ago, and it's so funny too because Jim, being formerly from Pennsylvania, I still listen to like radio from up there. Like I listen to sports talk radio, and they shitted on this gym from the get-go. And I wasn't following it that closely, but now with all these second rounds of shutdowns and everything, they're making their waves in the news. And yeah, like you have normie media. It was 94 WIP. They're like, oh, those irresponsible gym owners. And not a single case of COVID has been traced back to their gym. During
Of course
this whole
not.
fucking pandemic.
Imagine
this whole fucking pandemic.
Imagine the insanity of saying we're shutting down gyms for health reasons.
Right.
I mean,
Like, get
Jesus.
the fuck out of here.
First of all, at my gym, everybody's constantly wiping down everything with the alcohol spray constantly before you use a machine, after you use a machine. Like, it's probably one of the most like sterile environments in my world, right?
Right.
Like and people are in there are generally fit, young, healthy people. Like, really? Like, you're gonna like that? You're shutting that down for health reasons, and we're supposed to take that seriously? Planet Fitness, what's Planet Fitness supposed to do? They've got hundreds and hundreds of gyms across Pennsylvania that are just boarded up right now.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like, the rest of us are getting fat. Like, Jesus.
Health, but for your health. Have you heard at all from the corporate media at all about, I don't know, maybe take a vitamin C supplement every day, maybe take vitamin D, get that immune system up. I don't know.
In April and May that we were posting that. If you posted that on Facebook or on or any social media website, you posted something that said, hey, go get some vitamin D, go get some vitamin C. It'll help fight, protect your immune system from all sorts of diseases, including COVID. They would ban you on. People got banned for posting that on Facebook.
Well, I mean,
now,
to be fair,
like
how are elites supposed to profit off of that? I mean,
right.
Vitamin D's in the sun. You know what? They do like the Mr. Burns thing and block out the sun. But that's the only way they can do that, to stop you from getting vitamin D.
I mean, once we realize that it's all about just, making sure that the elites are keep the profits up.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They don't want to. They're going forward with Operation Warp Speed regardless. They don't give a fuck about your supplements, your holistic living, your exercising, eating correctly.
Operation Warp Speed. Man.
It's coming.
Oh my God. Now, this is the Pentagon, right? Like, teamed up with Big Pharma, right? Like, I saw that some general from the like saying like, yeah, Operation Warp Speed, it's incredibly important that we're going to deliver this for Pfizer, et cetera. And it's like, imagine like all the trustworthiness of these like mega pharmaceutical companies teamed up with the legendary efficiency of the Pentagon.
Right. And trustworthiness of the Pentagon. That's
like
double trustworthiness.
And with a flair for violence. Like,
well, yeah, that goes back
to
our
great. This is going to be awesome.
Our vaccine air raids.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for, it's like, I don't know how it's going to go, but we know that everything they do ends up the opposite of whatever their stated goals are. Right.
Well, yeah, it's usually the opposite of whatever they call it. So warp speed, I guess it'd be just very slow.
I think it's like wagons ho.
Yeah. Why warp speed? Why not ludicrous speed? Okay.
Yeah.
We can't, sir. It's too dangerous.
Why not Operation Ludicrous Speed?
Do you drive a Tesla, Alex?
No.
I'm thinking you might be a candidate for a Cybertruck, man. Yeah. Will that have ludicrous mode in your Cybertruck? Anyway, so any of you guys, one thing I heard, a good thing I think it's good to refer to this vaccine as the Trump vaccine. Okay, like, are you getting the Trump vaccine? Or I'm not getting the Trump vaccine. Are you getting the Trump vaccine?
Oh,
because if we can brand it this way, we could create a whole lot more controversy about whether people should be taking it or not. Like,
that's funny.
Right. So I'm calling it the Trump vaccine.
Well, now there's all this woke shit of like, well, it should go to black people first because they're dying more of COVID. And then people are like, no, it should go to the doctors and frontline workers. And they're like, no, it should go to the old people. It's just,
I think we should start with older. I think we should start with the older, weakest politicians.
Right.
and see how they survive it, right?
Right.
And then work our way down like
It's
through
like-
the rest of Congress, and
All right, come on.
and then into the police force.
Do any
and
of
then
you
into-
believe that fucking stupid piece of shit Mike Pence just didn't get a saline solution shot? Come
Dude,
on, now.
well,
He
the
didn't get
videos-
a
the
fucking
videos are-
vaccine.
Exactly. It's such political theater. It's such political theater.
Wait, why don't you
True,
think he would
true.
get it though?
None of them are getting it. Okay, if they have to follow you closely after you take this vaccine, then
Pence
the
already
science
had
isn't
it.
settled on this.
Didn't Pence
like-
already get COVID?
No one follow. Wait, hold on. They don't follow you closely, dude. I mean, they
There's
watch
a-
you for like 30 minutes after you take it.
No.
I
No,
think there's a several weeks of observation.
Thank you. Yes, there is. There's several weeks of observation with people when they get this, the first people that are getting the vaccine. So I'm telling you, man, this science isn't settled on
it's
this
not
shit at
true.
all. Okay, well, do you want to get it? Do you want to get it? I don't.
gonna get the
I
Trump
do not want to
vaccine?
get it.
Do I want to get it?
Are you
wanna
getting
get
the Trump vaccine or the Biden vaccine?
The Trump meat injection?
Oh God,
Can I
they
get
both
a-
sound so disgusting. Oh
Can
my
I
God.
be inoculated?
No, I'm just
from
telling you, like,
government?
Like my brother
want the
got
Kamala
it, and he's
injection.
not under 30 days surveillance.
It's more like a Kamala special enema that they give you.
Yeah, they give that the Kamala the Kamala shot is for swine flu.
For swine flu. Oh yeah. No, I don't know. My brother got the shot.
Got it.
Yeah, and he's not there. He's not like under 30-day surveillance. I mean,
Not surveillance, but like you have to check in. You have to tell him like.
I'll
you have
ask him about that. I don't
ask
think
him about
so.
it. All right.
He didn't mention that. I mean,
I-
he's a doctor, so he's an audiologist, so he deals with a lot of like older patients. So I guess that's why he got like front line for it.
It's
The
because
Biden
of jail.
vaccine has an interesting delivery vector where you spray it on a child and sniff it.
It's that aerosol vector.
Yeah, it's the latest technology.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, that fucking virus. Like, I'm sorry. That vaccine can stay the hell away from me. I don't want any part of that.
You're not
thing.
taking the Trump vaccine.
Phil, you've already got autism, Phil.
I know.
What do you have to worry
Get
about?
double autism.
I
Yeah,
know.
you'll just go back to normal, dude, and you won't be
Well,
interested
I
in
don't
this at
say-
all.
I don't have
You can
train
try-
autism.
You'll be
I don't
like,
have
"What?
train
Taxation's
autism."
theft? No, fuck off."
No, Jared, I don't have train autism. I have map autism. I don't want to get train autism. I can't
Wait,
handle both.
are you talking about that compass?
Yeah,
you-
that's the burning boots compass of autism.
Wait, oh, did I say that on Bernie? Okay, yeah.
It was burning.
Yeah.
They came up with the compass of autism, and I can't do the train one, man. I live right by a train track. I'll likely get hit by a train. I gotta stay focused.
Yeah.
on maps. And
Well, you
Dude,
could
I'm
be
just
like-
a train autist.
That's like Pete Buttigieg, right?
oh no, that is
He's
now
the train
our-
autist, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
He got a
gets the
job
tra-
with
yeah, he gets the
transportation, right?
train.
Yeah,
Dude,
he
you
literally
know what?
said like, "I've loved trains my whole life." This
Like,
is-
Oh, yeah.
like,
Oh,
it's like, yeah,
I
my
bet he
dad took
does.
me on a train as a kid, and they're like, okay, you're in charge.
And then Biden like puts his hands on him. He's like, "Okay, son, you want to play with trains? You know?"
Imagine if the private sector was like that. It's like, "Oh, I've been playing video games my whole life." Well, okay, now you're a senior engineer. At
Now you're in charge of
software
Space
firm.
Force. You played Space
Like-
Invaders? Great, here's Space Force.
Right. It's like, hey, I had some Lionel trains as a kid. I had a train table.
All right, well, now you're in charge of a
Like, I
whole
like-
fleet of trains across.
Yeah,
the
I like trains. I used to spray paint some train cars in my day, But yeah, you know what? Put me in charge of them.
Yeah,
Put me in
now
charge
it's
of the
just
whole
like-
transportation department.
Hey,
Almost
used to-
transportation.
You used to sell weapons to the government, so now you can be in charge of the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
not?
What's Hunter Biden going to get as his cabinet position? Like,
He'll be the new drug czar.
Right? Like, did you guys, dude, Otto? That's great. Like, did you guys talk about that? The Raytheon or the
Yeah, Raytheon.
Department-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
The fucking- let me get in the docs, but Biden, his pick is a former Army general, a black guy, but he was on the board of directors for Raytheon, and he's the top pick, or I believe he is the pick.
I think it's great that we have a more diverse deep state now. I think we were really getting tired of those old white deep state bastards, and let's bring in some, I want to see a deep state that looks more like us.
Well, now the Department of Interior is run by a Native American, so that's glorious. I feel proud to be an American citizen today.
Wait, by a Native American?
Yeah. It's just the fucking most. There's a meme I posted from the page.
Were you talking about Elizabeth Warren or?
Yeah. No, an actual one.
Oh, okay. More than 1,024th.
Yeah. Dude, where? Oh, I had it right here, man. I can't find it.
I think it's really important to rub these people in any kind of like leftist like person, like to whatever you can get away with. Just like shove this stuff in their face. This regulatory capture, these old like warmongers and war profiteers and deep state bastards, like everybody that like, oh, you thought you got rid of these guys? Nope, they're all back.
Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah,
Gang's all back.
Retired General Lloyd Austin is President-elect Joe Biden's pick for defense secretary. But he was soon after retirement, and it's the revolving door of the military-industrial complex. As soon as they retire, oh, hey, you want to work for Raytheon? You want to, hey, little, come on in.
Now, I'm pretty sure Raytheon, I mean, most people know them as like a standard military contractor. I'm pretty sure they were involved in an actual slavery ring in one of these like countries they were operating in. Does that ring a bell?
I don't doubt it.
I wouldn't
probably in Libya.
No, this isn't just.
I mean, slave markets in Libya. So
literally, it was some really nasty shit that was going on that these guys were doing, and they were like, "Okay, we won't do it anymore. Give us another contract." And they're like, "Okay."
It could have been what's that one company? One military contractor,
Blackwater,
formerly known as Blackwater, but they like changed their name every other year.
Remarketed, yeah.
They rebrand.
They go through a rebranding process because they're caught up in controversy. Like they're
owned by Donald Rumsfeld or whatever, right? Or Dick Cheney, one of those guys that like a majority.
That's Halliburton. That's Halliburton.
Oh, that was Halliburton. Yeah.
Yeah, Halliburton. There's some fine folks over there. But
the only thing John McCain's running is in hell. So
there's a really good documentary, and it's called Why We Fight, and it gets into the whole just revolving door of active duty military, and typically they're officers. Like, case in point, if you watch the corporate press, it's straight up Operation Mockingbird, like CIA, all those motherfuckers like are all former military. They're all former fucking military. They're like, oh, and it's just this constant revolving door, like in and out of the quote private sector, but public sector or vice versa.
But let's vote government that's going to do what we want. I mean,
or like
hilarious.
He's on the fucking board of directors. Like, how do you go from, what was he? He was a congressman, then leaves board of directors for Halliburton, for I don't know how many years, quite a few, and then resigns that post or whatever. And then 2 years later, oh, hey, I'm the vice president. Now I'm the vice president. And by the way,
here's this bad guy in Iraq that we can send these
we do have a legit
men
question.
So all these fucking woke liberals, fucking woke liberals getting like, oh wow, look at Biden's diverse picks of all his cabinet positions. Like, totally not looking at
they've got everybody groomed to receive that. That's what all that matters now. It's all about the inclusion and then the diversity. And this is now the way to just like spackle over any kind of crap they want to put out there.
No critical thinking, like wait a minute, isn't this a conflict of interest? Like, wait a minute here. This doesn't seem this kind of what happens in like banana republics or in former like it's just fucking this is what happens in quote fascist regimes, that they're
it's what happens when you listen to NPR like all day long, or MSNBC, or you went to college, or like it's just these echo chambers are out there that just before you know it, you're justifying like any atrocity, any rapist, any corporate like warmongering bastard, because he's just not that other thing. Like it's so weird and tribal out there.
Yeah, it's pretty strange times we're living in, guys.
Well, I think that's about it for tonight. I want to thank you guys for coming on and sharing this sacred holiday of the last night of Hanukkah and our holiday spectacular. And Jared's everlasting war on Christmas.
Yes.
War on the holiday. I don't know. Are you war on Hanukkah or just on
No,
Kwanzaa?
I think this year it's just going to be anything Jesus related.
What do you do? What do you do during Christmas, Jared?
What's that?
What do you do the week of Christmas? You're like, just got to get away from us.
I don't know. Just kind of,
do vacation. You go to Florida.
Just not have to go to work.
Go to Florida.
Go to hang out with my elderly people.
Do you go on vacations? Like I always loved Lewis Black.
Actually, one time I did go to Florida during Christmas. Yeah, I did. I was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here."
All right. Well, let's talk about that on the after hours.
Oh,
we doing? We got an after hours coming up after the show. If you guys want to hear it, you can donate as little as $20 to the Patreon.
20
go over there.
Or
$20. Or you can go to PRLfans.com
and you can give us some sweet Bitcoin.
That's right. Bitcoin's to the moon.
Come on, you Bitcoin billionaires, kick in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna talk some more Bitcoin in the after hours. We didn't.
We didn't get to that. We got to get to that.
We didn't talk about the Bitcoin.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. Please consider donating to our Patreon or going to PRLfans.com to support us. Helps keeps our lights on down here in all of our Surson basements. And also, if you guys want to buy some last minute Christmas gifts, go over to libertariancountry.com where we have t-shirts for sale. If you use the code PRL or PRL Podcast, you can get a 10% discount. If you spend over $50, you type in the code PRL2 and get yourself a 20% discount. Tonight, we're always brought to you by Conversations About Freedom podcast by Moral Bob. And until next time, everybody, live free
or die.